the very first episode of the EOSIO Top 5, brought to you by the team at Helios. Myself, Chris Barnes.
And Waxer.
And we're here today to kind of kick off a series of weekly updates that go over the top 5 events that are happening in the EOSIO ecosystem, especially as they relate to potential founders and investors into our space.
And let's get things started. And coming in at number 5, we have the Omnidex on the Telos network.
Yeah, so this is the kind of the first native DEX on Telos, and this is run on their EVM. So Telos is one of the first EOSIO, what is the first EOSIO blockchain that has EVM up and running. And this is one of the first native DEXs that's been deployed. Pretty impressive price performance in the Telos token from this. Basically, within about 12 hours of the Omnidex platform going live, Telos pumped from around 49 cents to 80 cents. It's since fallen off the cliff with every other token in the past dump. So I don't know when this is going to come out, but it's been a little rough over the past 24 hours. But that's the game. But regardless, this is a really good project released on Telos. It goes to show the power of EVM and how having EVM compatibility can really bring a lot of visibility, liquidity, and most importantly, users to the blockchain, in this case, the Telos blockchain.
Number 4 for you, Chris. Once again, Dan was in the press. This time some good news for EOS.
Yeah, this was a big story that was picked up by a lot of crypto publications, Crypto Potato, CoinDesk especially. Even CoinDesk had a YouTube video that I saw today, and all really positive news, which is surprising, especially from CoinDesk to see, but it's excellent. The narrative was basically that Dan is back into the EOS ecosystem. Of course, those of us who are here know that he never left. But regardless, in terms of the public perception of EOS, if the public or the open community looks at EOS now and thinks, Dan wasn't there, but now he's back. And Dan, of course, is the chief architect and the guy who designed the EOSIO blockchain that many ecosystems are now using, or at least many chains are using within our ecosystem. And so if Dan is back and that's what the wider crypto community thinks, then that's great. He's gonna, bring a lot of good things. He's got EDM 2.0 coming out with a new white paper there, and I think this is a great positive sentiment builder for the EOS blockchain.
Okay, coming in at number 3, we have a staking capability now available on FIO.
Yeah, so FIO, the Foundation for Inter-Wallet Operability, is a great project spearheaded by Luke Stokes, an excellent dude. And basically, this is staking going to be going live on the platform and with rewards, of course. So the deal is if you stake your FIO tokens using Anchor, like most EOSIO projects, and if you do that prior to February 21st, apologies, starting on February 22nd, staking rewards go live. And so if you do stake tokens in advance of that date, you do qualify for an additional APR, it looks like. And the way they've got it is 25% of the fees that are generated from the FIO network go towards generating yield for these stakers. Additionally, 25,000 FIO tokens a day are going to be minted up to a max of 25 million and then deposited or given to the stakers. The way I see this, I think, is probably how this will work is if there's only 25,000 tokens a day. So dependent on how many tokens are actually being staked, how many users are staking their FIO, the more or less reward you'll get. So if you're one of the early birds to get in there and not a lot of other users have staked yet, you actually might end up getting more returns. So I think the returns can be quite high if you're one of the early birds. So highly suggested to get into that if you've got FIO tokens. One thing to keep in mind, of course, is the unstaking period for FIO is 7 days. So unlike some of the other tokens that have 4-day unstaking periods in EOSIO, this one's got a 7-day. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. If you're an investor and you like to hodl, it seems like you need to have a look at FIO over the next month.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so coming in at number 2, we are back with EOS and we have EVM news. Can you tell us a bit about that, Chris?
That's right. So the EOS Network Foundation has given the basically the contract to EOS Argentina to build EVM on EOS. So EOS Argentina is an excellent contributor to the ecosystem. They are the number 49 block producer currently. So they are in a paid spot, a little lower than we'd like to see these great value contributors, but regardless, they're still getting money. So that's good to see from the network that way. But regardless, this is to build EVM. They are contracting, or at least going to be getting some support from Saeed Jaffe, who was the winner of the $100,000 B1 bounty back in 2020 to set up EVM. So working with him to help make that happen. I think they're planning to deploy this by Q2 of 2022. So that's great news. That's actually quite quick, a quick turn. And what EVM does, this is, of course, what our number 5 topic, the Omnidex on Telos, this could do the same thing for EOS, or at least create the same opportunity where developers can deploy Solidity contracts on EOS. And we all know how performant EOSIO is and how performant EOS is. So I believe this is a great opportunity, and many of us believe this is an excellent opportunity to bring in some of the liquidity from Ethereum, which is huge, but more importantly, the developers from Ethereum. We know that there's probably orders of magnitude more developers in the Ethereum ecosystem than there are in any of the other blockchains right now. So any opportunity to bring Solidity contracts through EVM to your blockchain is definitely a win for that ecosystem. And then, of course, to capture the performance of EOS with half-a-second blocks and much cheaper transactions.
Now for number 1, our top EOSIO moment of the week. One for you, Chris. This is the Telos Roadmap. So you should know quite a lot about this, being a foundation board member.
Right. Yes, I'm a new member of the foundation at the Telos Foundation. So this is a great project. It's one of those things, a roadmap is really useful to, of course, the users of an ecosystem or blockchain, but those who are looking to develop additional applications. So for founders who are looking for a blockchain to go to, it's nice to see what's coming down the pike, or the roadmap in this case, to know what projects that you can leverage. So for example, TID is one of the projects on the roadmap, and that basically is going to allow for unique user accounts, so Sybil protected accounts, and also an opportunity to have sort of cryptographically protected data that users can choose to reveal certain aspects of their profile, my understanding at least, to dApps that might require certain pieces of information around KYC, for example. So that's nice to see. They're also making more progress on their Decide Voter tool, which was used for the recent Telos Foundation election. And they're adding legislation amendments and board election management. So, 2022 being the year of the DAO, this makes Telos look quite attractive to prospective DAOs looking to deploy, where they can then take advantage of the Decide Voter tool in their particular DAO operation. Also, Telos Private is another project that's coming, and this is a unique take on privacy transactions, but it's actually going to be using a side chain, so zero knowledge proofs on that side chain, and it's not on the main chain, which is important because exchanges are likely going to be receiving a little more flack in the coming months and years, perhaps, about privacy chains and getting them delisted. So it's smart that this is actually a side chain to Telos, so it doesn't put Telos at risk in terms of being a chain that does have native privacy transaction capabilities, but it's a side chain that Telos users can then interact with, almost like an IBC, it looks like, back and forth between the private chain and the Telos main chain. And the other one that stood out to me was Telos Profiles, which basically allows a user with a Telos account to put a unique avatar, a bio, a name tied to their account, that then when they log into dApps on Telos, it can pull that metadata into the dApp. So very similar to how you use your Gmail or your Facebook or your GitHub account to sign into different applications. Your avatar and your name kind of comes with you. So it sort of mirrors that typical user experience that a lot of us are trying to do in the blockchain space. We want to emulate as close as we can to what the current Web 2.0 experience is like, to then make it very seamless and frictionless to introduce users into the Web 3.0 experience running on a blockchain. So good to see that Telos has put that on their roadmap. So we're pretty impressed about what they've got there.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for the great insights, Chris. And if you'd like to keep up to date with what's going on in the EOSIO ecosystem, make sure to tune in next week, subscribe to our channel. And if you think there's something that needs to be on our radar, make sure you leave a comment below and we'll check them all out and respond to them throughout the week. We'll see you next week for more EOSIO top 5 moments.
Talk to you then.